be starting. And the topic for today is market structure. Last week, we talked about candlesticks and how we can read our candle on the chart. So today, what we'll be talking about is market structure. Let me come. So today, I have my co-analyst with me in the house, Mr. Adeshina, who will be taking the class together. Briefly, he will be talking to us about a subtopic within the market structure, which is one of the essential topics you should know uh, to analyze the chart, which is how we can identify our supply and demand, support and resistance, even though we talked about it in our previous classes. So today we'll be talking about that. So Mr. Adeshina, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. I'll be leaving the floor to you so you can just break the ice for us. So we talk about supply and demand, and then yeah, I can take it from there.
Yeah, do I have the floor now?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, the leaders in the house. Good evening, all current members of RoyalQ. I am additional AB by nickname. So I believe I have like just a few minutes, so I will try to make it snappy and make everything fast. So please, you have to bear with me because of the time. So now, the topic I want to talk about tonight is support and resistance. Actually, we want to talk about market structure, but before we can dive into that market structure, we also have to understand support and resistance, because all these are vital topics that we have to touch when we are talking about technical analysis. Because as a beginner, if you just jump into this market structure like that, it's like you are omitting something very vital that you shouldn't even try to miss. So support and resistance is very, very important before you go into the market structure, and that's why you touch it first, then before we go to the market structure. So, but right now we're taking the class about the topic support and resistance. Please, am I audible enough? Please let me know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so when you're talking about support and resistance, please I'll just try to brief it and make it fast so I can go into the practical aspect. So the support and resistance, it's when we talk about support, we're just saying like let's say like you giving somebody an helping hand, like you are helping somebody to push something, maybe someone to carry something now. You now want to help that person to carry it up. That means you are giving that person a support hand so that that person can lift that thing up. When we are now talking about resistance, it's like you driving something back, like you resisting something from going upward. So let me just use the case of the chart I understand, because like now market is coming from from downtrend. When it gets to a point below, that place is called the resistance. So that place will help you to push that price back upward again. You understand? So
I don't know if it's only me, but we can hear you really clearly.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah.
Okay, we are just like, so now what I'm saying is that support now is like support in trading. It is like, let me call it like a price line that whereby it helps to push back the price of markets from coming down to push it back upward. That is support. They help to give like assistance to push that market price upward. So we now talk about resistance, like it helps to resist the price of market from going upward, back, downward. Like let's just say like maybe you have like a bouncing ball now in like maybe in a small room, you understand, that the ball can bounce up, down, up, down. So once the ball touches the ground, it bounces back to the ceiling. The ceiling will receive the ball back. So when the ball touches the ground, that is the ground will give it a support to push that ball back upward to the ceiling. So when the ball touches the ceiling again, the ceiling will give it a resistance. You understand? It will resist it back down to the floor. So that is what we call support and resistance. So in trading, because there's no how you do your trading that you won't look into support and resistance if you want to be a good technical analyst, because this is the basic part of technical analyst. So that is support and resistance for us. Then when we're now talking about support and resistance, there are some things that we need to consider in support and resistance, because if you are to look into price, you won't just pick anywhere as your support. You have to look at a proper place to use as your support and another place for resistance. Please, can everyone see my screen right now? Mr. Abiola, please, can you please
Yeah,
confirm? Do you see the screen?
yeah.
Okay. So because of my time frame, because I won't want to waste my time without sharing the proper or vital information I have to pass across. So I want to check my time so I can know how to move faster. Okay. So now let's look at this. Let me go and use maybe BTC chart as an example. Let me use BTC chart as an example. Okay, let me use this BNB chart as an example now. So now this is market now. Like this is BNB USDT. So in
Your voice, please.
okay, this is BNB USDT. So in technical analysis, right? Like we said, I said that we have support and resistance. So I will try and mark out some areas that looks like support and some areas that look as resistance. So like as you can see this chart now, you will see that market moves in waves. And if you see right here where the crosshair is moving, all this thing, this black one that has plus in it, it is called like the price line. So when I'm talking about price, I think you will try to understand what I'm saying about price here now, because I'll be using price. You can see this place that you can see this place like I'm zooming like this and 640, 620, all these places they are covered. This place, they are the price line. So but when I'm talking about price, I'll be using price as an example so that you all can understand properly, because I won't be using example of rice or something. I don't really do that. So, but you understand as price because everything is price action. So now let's go. I will now show you. When we're talking about support, let me use this as an example. See here now. Let me draw my trend line so that you can understand. If you look at this price action now, look at the market here. This line that I drew over here, it is a resistance line. Let me make it bold so that you can understand for the sake of the class. So that you can understand for the sake of this class. This green line that I drew here, it is a resistance line. Because why the rest is a resistance line? Let me draw another one now so that you can understand. So look at here like this. Let me mark it like this. Okay. So now I'll use these two lines as an example. You can see a line upward and the line at the top and another line at the down. So when we're talking about support and resistance, see this line here, this one, this green one here, this green line, it is the support line. Why did I call it support line? Because it gives the price a support to push price back upward here. Do you understand? So now look at this line above here, this green line at the top here. It is called the resistance line. I think I'll be able to name this line. I'm coming. So this should be the resistance line for the sake of maybe people that is recording. So okay. So this is a resistance line. Do you understand? And here now, this line is the support line. This one is the support. So good now. So now you able to understand me properly. So this is the support line, and this one is the stand. Why did I say this is support? Like I said, that a support line is a line that helps to push price back upward, and resistance help you to drive the price back downward. So if you are looking at this price, now you can see that as market is coming from this place like this, from here, the market moves up. You understand? Let me use a part so that you can understand me properly. So good. Look here now.
Sorry, Mr. Abi. The Ocean, we have Mr. Wiz in the house, one of our co-hosts.
Okay, also I'd like to state that your audio keeps going off, Mr. Abdullahi.
You mean the recording part?
No, I said your audio.
Your
Eh.
voice.
Your voice.
Okay, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So can I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now, see the price is coming from here like this. When the price gets to this side, it does what? It comes down to this line again. You understand? It comes down like this. Then the market does what? It goes back up again to this line. Consider this line that is the resistance line tries, because the market tries to break this line, but it does what? This line also serves as another line that bring the price back down again. When the price gets to this line again, this line also says what? No, I will give this price the support. Then it push BNB back up again. When the price gets to this resistance line again, it says that what? I will turn this price back down. Then it sends this price back down. When the price got to this line again, the support, it says what? No, I'm not agreeing to it, because here it means that the buyers and the sellers, they are fighting in the market. Like they are like, I will be the one to hold this market. Buyers are saying, no, you're not the one. I'll be the one to control this market. So did not have, they are not in an agreement time. So they did not agree together. Now this support also does what? Push this price back upward. But you see that as they are trying to push up, push down, this price was what doesn't break either of these. It doesn't break any of these two lines. So this is a perfect example of a support and resistance. So this is what it does in the market. Now see now, when the price got to this place, the resistance does what? It turns the price back down again. This time it does what? It breaks the resistance, the support line properly, which means that the sellers does what? They now have the highest control of the market over the buyers, because the buyers will help you in the support area, while the sellers will drive the price down in the resistance area. So that is the first thing about the support and resistance. Then what do you now see now? After the sellers, they are able to break down that this support line. What happen? The price now come back, enter this, and now come back, touch this support line, telling you that fine, the sellers are in control. Then the buyer doesn't have any power, and that's why the seller broke this support, that you that are trying to buy, you cannot control this market over us. Then markets returns back to this support, can't help again. It turns what? It turns to resistance. Consider that this line now drive this market down. So any line that drive the market down, like that, it is the resistance. The one that push the market up is the support. Please try to decode that one. Firstly, my key point, before I move forward, my key point is support line is a line. It is like a price line that helps to push the market upward, while the resistance is that price line that helps to drive what? The price of the market back downward. That's the first thing. Then now the second thing is that the line, that these two lines like this, they are the support and resistance. And once this support got broken, this support line turns to what? It turns to resistance, thereby driving the market back downward. Now, so how will you now know the proper line to use as support and resistance? Because truly, people, used to say that support and resistance is maybe is not part of trading. Actually, it's part of trading to me, because even if you start as a trader, these are your basic and elementary part that you will first have to go through. You cannot skip it. So you have different type of support and resistance here. So now, how would you now know that, okay, this is my support line? Because to be candid, markets really, really go far than support and resistance. But at initial stage that we are now, you just still have to understand this thing. Because of my time, let me now go to my next point now. So how will you even figure out whether this line is a support or this line is a resistance? Now, what you do is that before you can do this thing, you can't just come to like the recent price action like this and make your screen board like this and start drawing your support and resistance. No, it might not really give you an accurate result. You have to make your screen shrink like this. You have to make it more closer like this, because you are not trading here. You only want to draw out your support and resistance. What you need to see is to see how the price moves. Then to consider a strong support and resistance, you see like the one I draw here now. See, if you count, so you see now, see this price here, you can see that you have to consider. Let me draw it again. This is a straight line. If you want to choose it, you can see that if you look at this line that I drew, that I'm dragging, and this is my cross here. I want to use this thing to mark my support and resistance. So now, there is my resistance. You can see that this line that I drew, the market, see, let me mark it for you. Where's my brush? This is my brush. So now, you see that the market, from this is the previous price action that has happened in the past. So now, see, market touches here, 1, and you see, it touches it again, 2, it again, 3, again, 4. So at least you want you want the price of the market to touch, you want to look for like either 3 or 4 places whereby the market price touches the same place. You understand? You can see that it's this 4 and this 4 circle now. Market touches that resistance. That's now, and I drew out my resistance line. So with this now, you can have a perfect fork. Sorry, please. So with this now, you have a perfect support and resistance line. That is the support. That is just a resistance line. So, and if you want to have an accurate support and resistance, please always go and check it from the higher time frame. Because now I'm using 30 minutes time frame. This is just for the sake of class. If you have to go to maybe like 4, it depends on type of trade that you have. You will go to 4-hour time frame or daily time frame so that you can go and check for proper support. Now, see here now, to look for proper support and resistance. So if I am to draw another support now on 4 hours time frame now, if I am to draw another support line here, see, I will just bring out my cross here. I will go and choose my horizontal line. I'll use my cross to check where does price retest like almost 3 to 4 times. Because this thing will let you know that if price now comes to this place in the future time, there is higher probability that price will respect that line. Do you see this now? Do you see something like this now? And at times, yeah, I think you have to shrink your screen. You see that price, see here now, price come here, it touches 1, again, 2, again, 3, something around here that holds, it comes back, it holds again. You see that here is like, this is like 5 times that price touches this support line. And you can see that as price is coming before, if you look at the price action in the previous time, you'll see that, see now, price is coming here, it comes here, again, touch this line, doesn't broke, come back up, again, touch it again, still holds, come back up, again, still hold. So all these things, this is how you identify your support and resistance line. Hope you are getting my point. So this line, some traders, they trade based on this thing. To be candid, when I first started my trading journey, this is what I was first at that time. And I used it to trade because that was all I know. And I tried it. Seriously, it works. But like I said, there are some more things that the market will show you. You understand? But for a basic level, this thing also work. So when it gets to the advanced level, then you know what to do. So that's why the RoyalQ team, they have made it like, to be candid, they have really tried that. We should try and take the community member all these things so that you yourself can have the basic knowledge of technical analysis. You understand? So before you now move further, because all these things they really work in your trading now. If you look for a good chart and you now look for a better support and resistance, you now feel like okay, price has touched this line 1, 2, 3, doesn't break. So you now feel like, can I, based on my analysis, can I enter this market from this year? You'll be able to do some things, you understand? So that's why support and resistance it is also important while trading. Sales, you can't neglect them because some traders trade based on this alone and they are making their money. So don't feel like any analysis or any strategy is a waste of time. No. So in this line again, if I want to look for another support and resistance, I can go to like the one time frame to look for it. Please, Mr. Aviola, please let me be knowing the remaining time that I have so that I can know
Yeah,
how to move forward.
literally, let's just give you extra 5 minutes and then yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I can know what to touch for that, please. That would have been 9:05 or 9:06. So I was watching time as well. So now, because I was just trying to rush so that I can touch what I want to touch. So, like I've given you the definition of support and resistance, I've told you what support does and what resistance does. I've also told you the things to consider when you want to take your support and resistance line. And now I'm talking about the higher time frame. Cause your higher time frame gives you this like the higher chance in the market. Because if you are trading, if you use your higher time frame for your conference, it means that like you are making your analysis to be somehow strong. So if you now come and draw your support and resistance from the higher time frame, then you trading on the lower time frame with some other things, because I know Mr. Wiz has taught us Japanese candlestick before. So if you now if you combine this Japanese candlestick with this support and resistance, to be candid, you will know that it really works. Seriously, it really works. Because even if I am to look at this chart and show you some example, you know that it really works. Like look at here now. See this. Look at here now. Let me use this. See, this is a serious candle. You can see like an hammerhead. When it comes to this support line, what happens to it? It push price back upward. Do you see now? Like something of such also happen here like this. Can you see the wick here? So it also push price up. So if you take all these class serious, to be candid, when you now combine everything together, you know that what they are teaching you here for free, what's a lot of money, to be candid. You might not get it free outside because you have to pay for it. So that's why they are the first topic and the topic taken right now, you have to use everything together to be a better trader in the market. So even the market trader will still be taking tonight. Just try and take everything serious. So now, because of my time, I have like 2 minutes, 2 minutes left with me. So if we have to look at another chart, let me just look at another chart like that. Crypto, please, I'm very sorry. Because so here is another chart like this. So we just try and mark out our support and resistance on another chart again so that we just call it a day. Let me use BTC USDT dot P. So
Use the spot market, please.
okay, sports. Okay. Let me use this then. Finance. Okay. Sports market. We're using BTC USDT alone. Okay, fine. So let me do this at this time. Use this to take someone class. So let me go back. So now let us just try and draw support and resistance. Like I said, your first conference, what will you do? You go to higher time frame. Now I'm on day one. Now. Then you do what? You make your chart more shrink. Understand like this? Because if you zoom that the team is very, very big, you might not get it well. So, but now let us now look for a support. I'm using very few. I'm using free trading view. Well, so I can understand when it's like this. So let us now quickly look for support and resistance. You yourself, please try and look with me, at least like right now. If you know some conference that I said now, take your crosshair like this. Look at where those price touch, like 1, 2, 3. Like, can first choose here. So you might have like 5 lines. Doesn't mean you should just try to look for one, because I want to round up now. This will be my last thing. Possible resistance. Let's just mark here too, because you can't do that. I've used this stuff like very long time like that, so I don't really trade small time again. But I suffered a lot when I was still learning this thing, so I still really understand this properly. But it's not really my main strategy this time. So now see, I've drawn my line now. I'll round it up here, please. So these are my lines now. So see, when price come here, I'll just say this is support. Let me use my this thing because I'll round it up now. This is my finished part, please. So now, see here now, when price comes like this is a resistance, right? It comes here. Here should be a resistance, right? But it comes here, a resistance. So don't feel like because this one doesn't hold means it's not working. So far, price touches that place, 1, 2, 3, 4, you understand? So, and it's pushed back, it is a support. When it turns back, it is a resistance. So it might be between these two lines alone. I just drew those 4 lines so that you can understand. It might just be within these 2 lines alone that will be happen. So it might be within here and here. Just know that when price touches any line like this and go back, it is a what? Support. Here, what is the resistance? So now, why did I choose all those stuff? See now, like I said, you consider the distance. How many line it touches? See, it touches here 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand? If I go and you see at the back, that is resistance for you. So I'm rounding up now. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this thing is higher time frame. Whenever prices come to this place, you'll be looking at with some other confluence. Like I say, don't just say my price now support. I'm buying. It's not resistance. I'm selling. You surely get points. So please, you have to combine with your candlestick and some other confluence that you still be teach that you still be teach or taught. Sorry, this class. So you still be taught in this class. So thank you. I think you all understand support and resistance. So you can just do me a favor by going back to your chart and draw a lot of support and resistance. This is what I've taught you tonight, and do further research on it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, the leaders in the house. Thank you, Mr. Abiola, Mr. Wiz, you're welcome. Thank you, the RoyalQ team. Thank you very much.
That was really amazing, Mr. Abi. Thanks very much for support and resistance class topic. Mr. Wiz, please, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Wiz. I think maybe network. Yeah, so I'll be diving into our main topic of the day, which is and I'll be sharing my screen as well, which is market structure. So Mr. Abi has actually done a great job showing us so where just a second, please. Sure.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had a little issue here. So, nice one, Abby, nice one. Maybe you can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay.
I'm active. All right.
Okay. So let me take- Hmm. So can everybody see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, just
Yeah, I can see your screen. I can see your
everyone
screen.
okay. So the topic for tonight is market structure. Thank you very much. Okay. I can see you can see my screen. So when we're talking about market structure, we have three directions in the market in which market move. So we have uptrend, and we have a downtrend, and then we also have the sideways trend, or we also can call it the uptrend, downtrend, or the sideways trend. So I'll quickly be defining this move that you will see market do in the that you will see in our chat. So like Mr. Abi was telling us, the support and resistance was a topic that we talked about when we were talking about different market structure from our price action classes we had weeks ago, when we were talking about channels and the wedge and all of it. So tonight, firstly, what I will be showing us is how market will behave in these different aspects. So when we have an uptrend, what we'll be seeing is something like this. And something like this, right? Where the scenario in which we'll be seeing market creating new highs and new lows, right? So we have our higher high, our higher lows, and we have higher high again. We have higher lows, and we have another, and so on and so forth, right? And what will be seeing market doing in this scenario in an uptrend is actually, because here is a high, right? From here. Let me show you using this our part 2. So you see market creating a high here, and then creating higher low, because this low here is lower than this low here. And then you see market again create new high, which in this case is called the higher high. And then the market will create another higher low. And then you see it breaking here, creating another higher high. Why is it called higher high? Because if you see, like I was telling you, this low here is lower than this low here. So we have a higher low, right? And then so on and so forth. We also have this low that is lower than this low here. And we have this low also, which is lower than this low and is higher than this low here. So this is an uptrend, right? So this scenario here is an uptrend. In our previous class also, we talked to us about trend line and how we can use trend line. So in this scenario, I'm using this line right here now to teach us on how you can use trend line to indicate trend line, and then we'll be using a real life scenario from our chart. So here you say this is uptrend. Uptrend scenario. And another thing also that I want to mark out here is the fact that for you to have an uptrend, right, market actually breaks structure. So what was the topic for tonight is actually saying market structure, right? So what is the structure that we are talking about? So if market is creating an uptrend, right? What is the structure that we are referring to? So we are referring to this scenario here. Look at this high that we are talking about right here. We can see if I should draw a line here and place it close by here, you can see this high here. For us to know that this market is going in an upward direction like this, right? For us to know that it's going in this upward direction here, to identify to us that it's an uptrend, this high got here and then there was like an impulse move. So one thing you want to know when you are doing analysis is that for you to identify a trend, because you don't want to trade against the trend, right? So market do not move in a straight line. It doesn't move in a straight direction. It moves in waves, like Mr. B told us before, right? So it moves in waves. No, so knowing that now that market moves in waves, and then we as a trader, what we want to do is buy low and sell high. So now, if we want to trade in an uptrend right now, we'll be looking for how to buy the assets. For example, in this case here we have SRP, but then since I'm showing us the structure of the market, now we identify that this market is moving in an uptrend. So for you to confirm an uptrend, there has to be a break of structure, right? This market is moving here, and there's an impulse move, a slight impulse move to the downside, which from here, you can actually see it from here. So it got to this high here, and then there's a slight move downward and created this higher low, which is here. And then it came to this high from this my line that I drew here right now. So from here, let me actually delete this. So from this high here, we have this high, and then there's an impulse move downward here that created this higher low. And then this higher low now, there is this up move all the way here that created this new high. And then we can see, since there is this break here to the, and we can see this market actually broke this recent high to create a new high, a new higher high. So this is a break. This is what we refer to a break of structure. Right? We'll still get to those topics, but the topic for tonight is actually knowing how market structure works and what are the type of trends that you have in the market, right? We talked about different type of trend, and tonight we are breaking it down because from the topic we have today, we are talking about market structure and different type of structures in the market you will have. So we have the uptrend scenario, we have the downtrend, and then we have the sideways trend. So now this is the uptrend scenario. So when we have a downtrend, this is what you will be seeing in the market, right? It might not be that straight, but then bear with me. You would see something like this. So the reverse is the case here. You see market moving in a downtrend this way. And if we draw our trend line, so here you would be seeing higher low. There's a lot of message here. Okay. 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 So in this scenario here, what we'll be seeing is higher lows. Higher lows and lower low. higher low. And lower low. Higher low and higher lows. Higher lows. So why do we say this is so let me draw the trend line so that this will be clear. So if you can see actually that if you see once I draw this my trend line, and if we were to like move it to this, you could see market is actually so from our support and the resistance that we were saying in this scenario right here, you can see right here that you can actually find your support and resistance here using the market structure, the downtrend scenario. So if you remember from our last topic when we were talking about channel, so now you could be trading this range in a market, but it's a downtrend, right? So now let's not divert from the topic. So what we want to talk about this now, the topic of tonight is about downtrend. I'll identify this so that when we have the registration of the class, you would be able to like go through it and understand what we're saying. So this is a downtrend. And in a downtrend, what you would always see is a lower low, higher low, and a lower low, right? So why is this a higher low? Because this low, this high here is actually higher than this one, that is the next one. So it's a higher low here. This is a low, this is a higher low because this is a high, but it's lower than this previous one. This is a high, it's lower than this recent high here. So here is actually creating a low, and the next low is lower than the previous one. So this is a downtrend scenario. And then and the structure also is being broken to the downside. So if we want to draw a structure here, so what you will be seeing, I also identify this as a live chart since we are here. So look at, you can see that it's actually breaking to the downside, right? So here also, you can see that the market is breaking to the downside. So on and so forth. And you can see it's breaking down. This is the scenario of a lower trend. So the first scenario, here, first. This is the second scenario, which is the number 2. And then we have the third scenario here, which is the sideways trend or the ranging market. You can also see the ranging market. The term was not coming to me before, but yeah, you can see a sideways trend or indecision, depending on the person, right? Everybody has this, but we are still saying the same thing. That's synonymous. So sideways trend or indecision or unclear trend, right? This is the type of scenario we, as an SFT traders, we don't trade. So you want to stay out of the market because why? This is so I will be showing us first, right? So and a sideways trend will always be like this, where we'll be having equal move in the market, where the buyers and the sellers, they are indecisive in the market. So what we'll be having is equal highs and equal lows, up here, down here, up. There'll be like something like this, and then we'll have this, and we'll have this. But there are some traders who actually trade this. So more or less, this is how a sideways trend will look like. If we draw our trend line here, we will see. So this is more of what Mr. B was teaching us when we were talking about the support and the resistance, right? So now we can see that our market is actually supporting and it's resisting here. So how do we see that? In fact, here, from here, I touch it with I click 2. So now you can see from here. And if we do the same thing here, and we do the same thing here, you can see actually touches it about 4 times, right? So here you go. And the same thing, this is our resistance line, right? Resistance. And we have our support. Support. So this is a sideways trend. So let's also write it here. For the purpose of those people who will be going through this again, the sideways trend. Or indecisive, so sideways. So our sideways trend, one thing you want to know about is it's always like equal trends, equal we have equal move in the market whereby the buyers and sellers, they are indecisive, they are pushing up and they are pushing down, they are pushing up, they are pushing down. So we have these scenarios, these 3 types of scenarios in the market for our structures. And here some people trade this whereby they will be waiting for market to break out of either uptrend or downtrend so that they can take the trade. So in this scenario, what you would likely see traders do in the market is something like this. So if this market was to break out of this place, right? If it was to break like this, so they wait for it to come back up here and trade from the recent resistance line, and then they take the trade. So as a newbie, you can check this, right? So now for our market structure, so for the uptrend, what you want to look for is higher highs and higher lows, and then break of structure to the upside. And then one thing you also want to know is that there is always an impulse move, and then yeah, I think there's like yeah, sideways. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Lewis. That was sideways. Yeah. So yeah, so there will be an impulse move to the downside, and then for you to have a clear uptrend, there will always be a break of structure to the upside. So for you to have a downtrend, you'll always have a break of structure to the downside. And for the sideways trend, there will be an equal highs and equal lows in the market. So let's go to a real scenario to show us from the chart. In a scenario of an uptrend, for example, let's look for a pair that we can use here. For example, BTC. Let's use Binance. Yeah. So for example, in this case right here, if we want to look, if I want to see if I'm carrying everybody along. So I would like to ask in the chat box, at least from this already, this area here, right? where I'm indicating in my chart. Can anybody tell us in the chat box what we are seeing here? Is this an uptrend or a downtrend? Let's see if anybody is following along. So if you think this is an uptrend, type 1. If you think this is a downtrend, type 2. Please. In the chat box. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you hear you, Manny? Can you hear you?
So the people in the house, what do you think this is? Is this an uptrend or a downtrend? All right. Uptrend. Okay. Someone said uptrend. Okay, I think up. Okay. We have Uche Wilson who said I think it's up. Okay. We have also Udu Idris who says an uptrend. Okay. So that was correct. So this is an uptrend. And yeah, in fact, from what we said, right? Let's use our part 2 to identify it. So what we are having here, even though we are on an hour time frame, so what we'll be likely doing is a top-down analysis. And when you want to do your top-down analysis, you can do 4 hours and then to the lower time frame, or you can just start from the daily charts. But to have a clearer view, you always want to start from your 4 hours chart. But the one I was showing you here was an hour chart. But for this example here, let's just use this example, right? This is an uptrend actually. So for us to know that this is an uptrend, you want to draw your path through, at least from here, just this area. And then you can see this market actually did this, and then a little bit of impulse move to the downside. And then there's this up move, a retracement, an up move, breaking this previous high. And then there is this little bit of retracement, and then there is this up move downward, and then we have this, and then we have this, and then we have this, and yeah, up to this area here. So now, if I was to move this, even though it's not as straight, but you can see, right? It's similar to the example we gave earlier, right? It's not as straight, but you have to train your eyes to be able to like identify this move here. So what we are talking about tonight is market structure, and this scenario here is an option. And we can also look for a downtrend scenario. Let's look together right now for another uptrend scenario before we make an example of the downtrend scenario. So if we do a lot of practice on this, we'll be able to spot easily different move in the market. So from here, let's see if we can see another scenario of an uptrend in there. Okay. So here, let's use another pair. Let's use ADA. In this case, let's use the 4 hours time frame and see. Using the past This market is not actually okay. Let me try and zoom in and see. Okay, here. You can use this as an example. You can see from here up to this area. This is an option from our higher time frame, 4 hours time frame. So you can see. But then within this structure, there is internal structure within it in our lower time frame. But then, yeah, the example we want to make to show you an uptrend scenario, right? And you can see there is a break of structure here. There's another break of structure up here. And we have our higher high. And we have our higher low. And we have our higher high. And we have our higher lows. And so on. Right? This is the uptrend scenario. So for the downtrend, let's look for a pair to show us a scenario for. So what pair can I use here? BNB, for example. BNB. Please, if you have any question, you can always type in the chat box, or if I'll round up first. So here we're not having a clear downtrend. All we have is an uptrend. So let's see if we look for internal structure. Maybe we can have a downtrend scenario. Yeah, here's a perfect example. Even though the network is a bit lagging, but so this is a downtrend scenario. So let's choose our part two. Let's see. Okay, from here we have markets pointing to the downside here, creating this high, creating this low, and then a little high here. And then we have this, we have this. Okay. Even it's not really that the perfect example, but then yeah, it's a downtrend scenario. And we can see market breaking structure to the downside. So this is a downtrend scenario. from a live chart, and this is the current market price around 593, and from the lower time frame, but it might be different from the higher frame. So this is an internal structure, but what the bigger picture of the same might be different. But just to show you the downtrend scenario from our chart. So now let's look for the last scenario, which is our sideways trend. So this is a perfect example. Not actually. Sideways trend, let's see. From here. From here. In fact, you can see from this area here to this area, to this area here, we can see before the market actually finally broke downward. Yeah. So look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let me do this. Where is it? You see market did this, came back into this zone again, came here, and then did this, and this, and was still back here, did this one, came here, came up here, before it finally broke out of this place. So we can see that it's equal, like the movement is equal, right? You can see from the example Mr. Abi gave to us from our support and the resistance. So in fact, this is what um, a sideways trend would look like. A typical sideways trend would look like. This is not a perfect example, but then yeah, this is the idea, right? Before you would now see a break to the downside or to the upside. So if there is any question for tonight, so this is how you, Mr. Wiz, please, you can come up and then give us a brief of our last section and also probably talk a little bit about our topic for tonight.
All right. I greet everyone in the house respectfully. I don't intend to take much of your time because we've already spent more time and a lot of persons will want to like participate in other stuff after this meeting. So let me go straight to kind of a summary of everything we've done here tonight. Leader Ocean, I greet you, and other hosts, other members, wherever you're joining us from, I greet you respectfully. All right. I believe some of you, before you join this meeting, you come with your, like you normally come with your book and your book and pen. I know you have a device where you can type and all of that. I always encourage my students, I always encourage people that attend my meeting to come with their notes and pen. Please do not allow AI replace you. AI is there to aid you, but do not allow it to replace you. Develop that culture of writing. Develop that culture of writing. Trust me, it will help you. I know AI is there for you to just type, paste. Okay. Why I'm saying this is because from what Hebi shared with us today, these are powerful basic knowledge, as he said. Yes, these are powerful basic knowledge. As we go, even if we are going to disclose a simple strategy that you will use to apply in the market, trust me, you see these things we are sharing with you guys, this thing that is looking like you know it. You know, some persons have this mindset that I've seen this thing, I used to see it on YouTube. Trust me, you do not, oh. I'm serious, so you do not. There's a point where you get to, you feel you know it. You do not. Just like I was looking at AB and this person, it reminds, like, as I'm looking at it right now, I'm already preparing myself for next week trade. As I'm following up this class, I'm already preparing myself. The lectures I got today, I'm already preparing myself. So why I'm saying this, the support and resistance knowledge is very, very powerful. It's very important. You will add it. You will add it to, you will use it. You will use it. Trust me. And you use it, and you use it confidently. So then the market structure, that is the bone of technical analysis. Market structure is the bone of technical analysis. Fine, you've known uptrend, you've known downtrend, you've known sideways. And that key thing is how to spot them, how to see that this particular market is actually on in an uptrend, like it's going to continue, or let's say it's about to reverse. We'll still teach you that. Currently, I don't know why my device doesn't want to help me share, but then AB and HeyB, they are doing a very great job. They are doing a very, very great job. If they are able to provide the solution for my own device, then you see that candlestick we talked about. See that candlestick, the Japanese candlestick we talked about. When you want to apply it to the support and resistance that HeyB shared, you then want to look at the context of the candle. You want to look at the context of the candle. And if you can note all of these things on the higher time frame, you don't need much knowledge for you to make money from trading. I'm very serious. With the simple one, AB rather. Okay, let me go with his native name, Abdullahi, right? With the little knowledge Abdullahi shared today, you can start trading. Yes, you can start. I'm very serious. Let's take, for example, price get to the resistance level on the daily time frame. And let's take, for example, let's say, okay, let's start with Monday. On Monday morning, you go to your chart and price has gotten to a particular resistance level you marked. And Monday closed, you go to the daily time frame. Monday closed, you allow Monday to trade. On Tuesday, you go to the chart. Monday candle closed with the body. Let's say it has a close with the body. Now, before now, you've known the different parts of your Japanese candlestick, like the open, the close, the high, and the low. Mind you, red and green is not the only means to identify a bearish or a bullish candle. It's very important to note how a candle closed, how a candle opened, how a candle, the high a candle made, the low the candle made. That is why we included the anatomy of Japanese candlestick. If you understand the anatomy very well, now add that anatomy to the support and resistance that Abdullahi shared. If your Monday candle closed with the body, it's an indication that we want to see higher price. So what do? You then go down to your structure that AB Abiola has shared now. Go down to your structure. In our next class, I will not tell him like he should add discount and premium zone. You will use your you use your fib retracement and see how to get price from a discount zone to continue the trend. And trust me, you'll be taking a smart risk, even if loss is inevitable. You'll be taking a very smart risk. You won't be taking a trade because you want to take it, or you want to take a trade because you have money to risk. No, that's not enough reason for you to take a trade. Take a trade because you've seen a structure that aligns with, that you've already backtested, a structure that is proven, a strategy that is proven. You want to now risk your hard-earned money on it. That is the main reason why you should take a trade. So please do not take this simply.
Mr. Wiz.
Yes.
Sorry, right? I would like to
Yeah.
also call your attention to, this is our RoyalQ community, and mostly we trade our spot market. So if you can also like make an observation to that, because most of our newbies here will be like, are we risking money trading here and stuff like that. So we are using actually our RoyalQ bots.
Exactly.
And since we want to also like be good in technical analysis, to also be able to like pick the type of trades that we want to trade and be confident enough to say, I will make money out of this thing, and then I will give my robot the right instruction. So that's why we are actually saying you need to have this knowledge, even though maybe later you say, okay, yeah, from the same RoyalQ platform, we have the future aspect. You might decide as well to say, after this analysis, I'm confident to say I want to use the futures. But for now, we are trading spot. This is our community here.
Exactly, and that's why sport is one direction, and that's why I'm saying if they can if you understand this support and resistance, just like I give the illustration now, Monday candle close bullish. You want to like see how to look for a pair that is giving you an uptrend structure. Now, for example, if you're trading spot market specifically, you want to see an uptrend market structure before you engage any trade. So all of these things we are sharing with you guys, they are kind of like they are connected. They are connected. And that's why I encourage you to keep inviting everyone around you and let them not miss any meeting, because once you merge all of these things together, you see that you start trading with a very simple strategy. You don't need much lines on your charts. You don't need too much knowledge. They say when you have too much knowledge, you suffer from what they call information paralysis, something like that. You don't need too much. See, when you have too much, it slows your decision making skill. Yes, it slows your decision making skill, and that's why the simple knowledge you're getting right now, see how you can implement it. And please, I'm encouraging everyone, come with your notes and your pen, write, draw. Yes, it works. It's necessary for your brain. Whatever your hand is drawing, the brain is working with it. Whatever your pen, you're using your pen to draw, your brain is captured. So come with your notes and your pen. Abdullahi, nice one. Abiola, I don't doubt any of my technical team. They're too good. So I think that's all. I'll be welcoming any question if there's any. Ask your question. Ask question. I always tell people, I always tell people in my meeting, don't be ashamed to ask questions. They say some persons are kind of like they don't have that courage to ask. Maybe they are shy that, okay, let's see, if I ask it, I don't know how to say it very well, and these people will laugh at me and all of that. No, there's this saying I always tell people in my meeting, because we have there are different kind of people attending this meeting. Not everyone has gotten that courage to speak in a space like this. So I always tell them, it's better for people to consider you a fool for 5 minutes than for you to be a fool forever. In that sense, what I mean is that you're scared to ask because you don't want people to label you a fool, but you don't know that thing. What if you don't get answers to that thing and you just keep it to yourself? And let's say you keep doing things the wrong way for like 2 years or so. No, it's not nice. It's not nice. And someone said to me that you can't learn forex in one. You can't use 1 year. You can't use a month to learn forex. I see, force. It's very false. You can use even a week to learn forex, as long as you're ready to embrace the discipline. You can use a week to learn forex. It's sounding very impossible, but get it. If you're learning the right thing, why it takes people so much time, like take people like 2 to 3 years for them to actually know what they're doing, is because, just like Hebi said, when he started, they were teaching you indicators, how to use indicators and all of that, all of those lagging tools and all of that. They were not teaching you institutional structure. Definitely it will take you years. But when you come into the right mentorship, like the right environment, in 1 month, you're already seeing yourself making smart decisions in the market. So that's it. Ask your question, please. Ask your question.
Thanks, Mr. Wiz, for that. Please, if anybody here has a question, this is the right time to type, or you just unmute and then ask the question, please. Leader Ocean, I think I'll be handing over to you, sir. Also, you can.
Thank you so much, Leader. Thank you so much, Leader Abiola. Thank you so much, Leader Abdullahi. And also, Leader Wiz. That's really amazing. Do we have any questions, please? You can use the chat or mute yourself. Now, while we wait for questions, we'll be rounding up pretty soon. I'll wait for questions. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, please. This is Ijoma.
Please. Yeah. I'll
Okay,
wait
okay.
for questions. Give away on Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
No,
So
I
yeah,
already chat.
and go ahead, please.
No, I said I already chat. I think this is the lady from the last week, right?
Yeah. That want the giveaway.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ijoma, and you can chat me up after. Yeah. We remember. You can chat me up after the Zoom meetings to claim the Zoom meeting to claim your prize. Please let's ask questions. If we don't have any question, we would like to round up now.
So is it that the topic that we talked about this night, everything is clear?
All right, since we do not have any question, tomorrow we have our Zoom meeting tomorrow. So please be very much available to attend the Zoom meeting. Thank you so much for coming out. The recordings will be on our YouTube channel so that you can access it. So good night, everybody, and have an amazing one. Bye.
Yeah, good night. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.